line played very well against them. But, Irv, do you think that they can be a top 5 unit again this season?
And listen, they got some young dogs up front. And that's where this defense makes his bone. Last week against the Chargers, hey, Justin Irvin played a great game. He got the ball out of his hands quickly, and that defensive line had no effect on the game. They should step back tonight and try to bounce back tonight and make sure they have an effect on this game. If they get going, yes, they can be a top defense in this league.
Now, and both of these teams actually in danger of falling to 0-2. Both defenses actually last week had some issues overcoming some fumbles by their offenses as well. But putting this into a situation that historically going down 0-2 has been really tough to climb out of. Since 1990, you make the playoffs only 11.6% of the time when you start the season winless, and only 15 of the 258 teams to start 0-2 went on to win their division. So odds aren't great. One team trying to avoid 0-2 will be the Tennessee Titans. Brutal week 1 for their high-powered offense. It didn't look so high-powered. Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and Tennessee just 13 points in the blowout loss to Arizona. So, Irv, for the Titans, tell me, is it panic or is it patience?
Listen, and Colleen, you should also bring to the people attention that there is someone on this set that started 0-2 and not only made the playoff, but went on to go to Super Bowl. But that's just what we know.
It wasn't Joe.
I thought he was talking about me. I'm like, yeah, pretty much 11 straight 0-2. I know all about it.
Yeah, we know it ain't.
But then he started talking that P word. I was like, I can't even say it, Irv.
Oh, Steve, leave Joel out of it. Come on, man. All right, all right.
So mean.
I was messing around. Okay, let's get to this. I'm not saying, listen, this is what it is. You know how when you see that thing, it says break glass in case of emergency. That means when it panic. I'm telling you right now, but once you break glass, you got to pull the level. I'm breaking the glass. I'm not going to pull the level just yet. But if I see...
It's a lever.
The lever. I said lever. But if I see 58 yards out of that motor again today, this week, you got no shot. What they tried to do is turn Ryan Tannehill into a top quarterback because you got a top wide receiver in Julio Jones. So they stopped working on play action, and that's how the Tennessee Titans make their play. They have to come on play action. It has to start with the running downhill, and then everybody come up, and then Ryan Tannehill can make his bones up the field. I'm not panicking yet, but I'm close to it.
And that tape, they just need to bury it in a cornfield somewhere. Never look back. Never go back and revisit that. Rough start, though, for the Titans, obviously, in week 1. But the poor Browns, they can't get a break to start the season, Joe. I mean, on Sunday, the Chiefs offense did what they do best late in the game. Touchdowns from Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce to come back and beat Baker Mayfield, and the Browns' whole streak began. So it's been a very long time.
Yeah, you know, they were outplayed in the fourth quarter there by a team that has a lot more experience in those big moments, in those big games. But the Browns are getting there, and I feel really good about it. That's why I'm patient. I'm not panicking because, you know what? Last week they decided and they proved to everybody that they belong with the cream of the crop in the AFC. They can play with anybody. They went into Arrowhead and they outplayed the Chiefs for almost the entire game. But you know what? You know who's coming to town right now? The skim milk portion of their schedule. They got the Houston Texans without Deshaun Watson coming to town. You know, skim milk, it goes down easy, right? Pretty simple, but it doesn't ever fill you up. Not like that red cap stuff. That's the good stuff. That's what you want. A lot of that cream. The Browns, they're the cream of the crop. They're going to have no problem at the end of this weekend being at 1-1, and they're going to feel really good about where they are, because that's really what tells you about where your team is. The 0-2, it's not a momentum thing or any of this business about can you make the playoffs or not. It's just about what you feel about your team and the message that the coach can deliver if you're 0-2 versus 1-1.
I guess you could say winning does a body good. All right, so, well...
this playoff thing, like, you know, this play...
I want that
It's all about this playoff thing.
That's what it's all about. But while we are on the topic, though, of giving up late leads like the Browns did in week 1, let's cue up Monday Night Football and the Baltimore Ravens. We have to. It's part of the show. That's what we're doing here. So Baltimore looked like it had won this game multiple times.
Several.
One of the craziest games last week, but in overtime, Zay Jones, the walk-off touchdown for the Raiders. And the Ravens, well, now they have a losing record for the first time with Lamar Jackson as a starter. Steve,
yes,
where's your head right now? Panic, patience?
I'm patient because I have to piggyback off of Joe, and Joe just told me that his team got mollywopped. My
That's not
team
what I said. You must not have been listening.
I was listening. My team seems like they're going to get
Excellent.
mollywopped this weekend, too. They're probably going to put about 52 on them because of the injuries. We're losing Marcus Peters. We're losing Gus Edwards. So many guys going down. J.K. Robbins as well. We're just losing so many guys. You can't do anything. I'm being patient, but I'm nervously patient.
Nervously patient.
Yes.
Was that one of the
Anxious?
options?
Would that be anxious?
Was that D? All of the above?
Nervously, because here's why. If you get down in the AFC North and the way the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing defensively, it can really get behind you very quickly. And if you start to take a loss in September, it gets fuzzy in October, it gets chilly in November, and you'll start packing up your stuff in December.
And people underestimate Marcus Peters. I mean, this dude can play
Calculated,
football.
risky
And
guy.
He's that's exactly what I'm talking about, Steve. What he gives you is a possibility for turnovers.
Absolutely.
And when you don't have a passing attack like the Baltimore Ravens do not have, you need short fields,
Yes.
and he gives you that. That's a huge loss, especially when you got to go up against that monster they call Patrick Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill, all those guys, Kelsey. Good.
Yeah, listen, this is a team that played in the Super Bowl back-to-back seasons, last 2 years. So it was a tough break for them week one, for sure. But the Giants, they have been patient with Daniel Jones so far, now in his third year. And, yeah, he has more turnovers than touchdown passes. But don't panic, because tonight he came to play against Washington. He's always been good against them. Just a quick refresher, though. Last time we saw him on Thursday Night Football, guys, Jones,
Don't show that.
he threw for a couple of scores, and this happened, too.
Oh, my God.
Long touchdown run, well, could have been one.
Piano
in
jumped on his
life.
back right there.
The
Yeah.
moment in life that will never leave you is right there for this
Hey,
year.
leave the Charlotte kid alone. That's my guy.
He was resilient, though. He got back up. I would have just stayed down at that point. But the Eagles,
He'd have cramped if he'd have stayed down.
they scored 12 unanswered there to win by 1. Thursday Night Football. So many memories, really, when we look back, and so many more memories that